Today we're in Sainte-Mere-Eglise here in Normandy. And Eglise, of course, means church in French. And there in front of us is the church. This particular area is best known for the museum from World War II, the military museum. And so I'm going to take a walk through there. I see over here there is an airborne museum. I'm not sure which one we're going to. Hang out with us. We'll show you what we see.
You as you drive, do you know I'm looking? And I can't help but smile. Do you know how much I love you? You put my favorite song on, I put my feet up, and we just sing along. And I can't help but feeling, just loving this moment. Can we stay here forever? I'm loving this moment. Can we stay here together? If I could stop the time, don't you know that I would? 'Cause I'm just loving.
So the leading forces to arrive in Europe during the D-Day invasion were the American paratroopers that jumped out of an airplane at 3 o'clock in the morning, attempting to secure this town. The feeling was that this would be a resupply route. And one of the most famous paratroopers, as portrayed in the movie The Longest Day, was said to have been tangled on one of the roof overhangs of the local church, where he hung for 2 hours pretending to be dead before the Germans cut him down and he was captured as a prisoner of war. He later that day ran away from the Germans as the rest of the American troops gathered here and continued to fight in the war.
They even have their own soldier hanging from the church. I mean, obviously not a real one. This is sort of behind a restaurant. I don't know if it's part of the restaurant or just somebody's private little army encampment. If you're looking for military surplus, here's your place. I don't think I've ever seen a military surplus store in France until today.
€5.
They have a Lego set of that church with the paratrooper hanging from it. For €175, you can build your own. Cute. And you can get it here at the Surplus Military Store. Oh, here's another one. It's an Army Navy one. Joie surplus. Even the bars have little parachute guys hanging on the top. Cute. Okay, this looks pretty interesting. Not sure what's going on here. Some sort of a program. So this year is the 80th anniversary of D-Day. And so you see a lot of these posters hanging here in Normandy. You can even buy posters here. Military art. They even have wines commemorating the 80th anniversary. Interesting. If you look around all over town, you see people our age, a little older, not a whole lot of younger people. I would imagine that the majority of people who come here are the children, possibly the grandchildren of those whose parents were here in France or in the service during World War II. Well, here we are at the Airborne Museum in Sainte-Mere-Eglise. Here in Normandy. And here we have an M4A4 Sherman tank. This one was produced by the Chrysler Tank Arsenal of Detroit. And it's painted with colors of C Company of the 746th Tank Battalion, which was attached to the 82nd Airborne Division on June 6, 1944. This is an 88 millimeter flak 1836-37-41 anti-aircraft gun. It was fitted with a new chassis in 1936, and improvements were made to its sighting system in 1937. It started its long career with the Spanish Civil War in 1937. So this gun was used by the Nazis
to shoot at aircraft.
As Jeff just said, to shoot at aircraft, in case you didn't hear him off in the background there. So the museum is divided into various parts. So the first one is the C-47, which we are going to go into right now. Well, this is something. This was typical gear and uniform for the first actors, the U.S. invasion, Operation Torch.
I'm sure you're anxious to get started after working on that. That's your tradition. So you've got to explain your objectives. As I was saying, gentlemen, this will be no easy task. But I know you all quite well, and I have full confidence in your abilities, and those of your men. You're fully trained and eager to fight. At nightfall, the first 20 aircraft to take off will be carrying the pathfinders of both divisions. They will go off, reconnoiter, and mark out our 6 respective drop zones. The sticks from the 101st will be dropped between 020 and 027, and the sticks from the 82nd will be dropped between 0121 and 02 a.m. Now, let's go over the mission order details for D-Day. I'll start with the Albany mission. The 6,928 Screaming Eagles of the 101st Airborne will be dropped on 3 drop zones, coded A, C, and D. Officers of the 101st, I require your full attention, since this will be your baptism of fire. So that you may identify yourselves at night in enemy territory, you will use the password flash. And in response, you will hear the answer, thunder. You also have a cricket, similar to the one I'm holding right here. If you are alone in the middle of the night, pressing and releasing this blade will make a clicking sound. You will hear 2 clickety clacks in reply. This distinctive sound will allow you to meet up together. Now, gentlemen, please stop playing with your crickets and be quiet for a moment. I'm about to give you the different targets for each unit. Drop zone A, Sainte-Mere-Eglise. From 050, the 502nd Parachute Infantry Regiment and 377th Parachute Field Artillery Battalion must seize coded beach exit 3 and 4 in Sainte-Martin-de-Varville and Eau-de-Ville-la-Rivière. You must destroy the heavy battery in Saint-Martin and the quarters coded WXYZ in the village of Mézières. Blow up the bridges over the Doubs River and capture the wooden bridges in the port near Brevard. Now, let's move on to the 82nd Airborne. Their deployment will be made in 3 stages. Mission Bossy is entrusted to Force A, whose 6,420 All-Americans will be dropped in 3 coded drop zones, O, N, and T. Now, with the wealth of experience you acquired during the last operations in Sicily and Italy, you will not officially begin crickets. However, Sainte-Mere-Eglise. Take and protect the bridges over the Médère River in la Fièvre and Chef-du-Pont. And they must hold a defensive line from Noville-au-Plan to Bolorville.
Dwight D. Eisenhower est alors nommé commandant suprême des forces expéditionnaires alliées en décembre 1943. Son état-major prend l'appellation de Chief, Supreme Headquarters Allied Expeditionary Force. Le 14 janvier 1944, Eisenhower s'installe à Londres et la solution du cas s'effectuera dans le Cotentin afin de faciliter la conquête du port de Cherbourg. Pour assurer le succès sur le flanc ouest, deux divisions aéroportées, la 82e et la 101e US Airborne, sécuriseront l'assaut. L'assaut sur l'aile est est donné aux Britanniques et aux Français, débarquant sur Sword, épaulés par la 6e British Airborne. Au centre du dispositif, les Britanniques débarquent sur Gaulle et les Canadiens sur Tulle.
We're going to the next pavilion, Operation Neptune. Once the paratroopers had landed, you need to bring all the equipment, the tanks, the trucks, the support vehicles, to press on into France for the 11th month operation to defeat the Nazis.
32 planeurs Orsa sont engagés dans l'opération Keokuk, avec des renforts en personnel et en équipement. 36 planeurs CG-4A Waco et 140 planeurs Orsa sont répartis en 4 séries lors de la mission Elmira. Ils transportent hommes.
Well, believe it or not, we had to stop the car because our dog had to go to the bathroom. And Jeff pulled into this parking lot right next to this church. And I kind of like walking around on old cemeteries. I don't know if their gate is going to be open, but it's an interesting looking building. Jeff just mentioned to me that this is a Presbyterian church in a Catholic country. Well, perhaps. It is what it is. I'm not sure I'm going to be able to get into that cemetery. There doesn't seem to be a gate to get in. Well, so far, this is an old one. Unfortunately, I didn't bring anything to trace. Uh-oh, did they try to get out? This person passed away in 1827. That's how old that stone is. This is a memorial to the people who died in the First World War. And we have more old graves here. Some at least have somebody taking care of them because they have flowers. And we even have some horses over here. All these very special plaques and stones. Soldiers from the war. And here we are, somewhere in Normandy. Normandy, of course, is made up of lots of little villages. I don't know this one. Above the door on this church, it says 1772, which is presumably when this church was built. And back on the road we'll go.